Well, hi everyone, coming to you from Melbourne in Australia and near Los Angeles, Camarillo, California. It's Tech Down Over. How you doing, Geoff?
Good, thanks, Rick. Yourself?
I am doing great, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. You've gotten some
As
new
always.
toys, and I'm getting some new toys. So, actually, I'm getting one of the same toys you have, which I already have, but a different version of it.
I've got a new toy, but it'll be a surprise, I'll tell you.
Oh,
in a
that sounds
minute.
really good. All right, here we go. And here we are, Tech Down Over. Well, now I'm curious. What's your new surprise?
Well, you know how since I've known you, when I first met you, I don't think I had a microphone. I just had, the built-in microphone on the PC was, to me, that was suitable.
Right.
But then once I got involved and said, well, no, it's not. I need one. So I ended up buying a Yeti Blue, which I really loved, and it was a great thing. But then it did such a good job, it picked up every damn thing.
Right.
So, and having it on the desktop, but when you get more equipment, it gets noisier and noisier. So then I progressed to another microphone. What's it? A Rode NT 1A. That's right. And then with my video camera, I've also got the NT2G, is it?
NTG2, which you have up there on the boom stand.
This, which is good. And I happened to see on one of the news reports last night, there was holding one of them up and they was using it too with the news reporter.
Interesting.
But not being satisfied with all them. I love all them and I'm really excited with the Rodes. But I wanted something to do with, it gets quite hot here in the summer and then with the air conditioning on and all my other condenser microphones pick up everything. So I wanted something different. And I love my Rode. So today or yesterday came in a Rode Procaster.
The Procaster, okay, the USB one. Or is that the XLR one?
That's the XLR, because there's one called the Podcaster.
Podcaster, that's
pretty much
USB.
The Podcaster is the USB one, but it's white, but it's fairly similar, but this is the Procaster.
Well, I'm
just
curious.
Got it yesterday.
Have you used it yet?
I haven't yet. Now I'm getting excited.
Okay. That's interesting. Now, I had that one.
Yeah.
But I turned it back. There was a reason. It was probably not the Procaster's fault. It was my equipment at that time. That's been out about 5 years, I think. It needs a lot of juice. It just needs a lot of oomph to get that going. Like the Aphex can run it, and probably the Presonus and the Mackie should be able to run it, but it does need power. It's not phantom power. It just needs gain, a lot of gain. So you're gonna have to get intimate with that one because you have to be close to it.
And that's what I wanted it for, because I know you would need to be quite close, but that's what I want. I don't want it to pick up the air conditioning.
Right.
For those times.
But it's a beautiful mic. I love the look, and it weighs like 3.5 pounds. It's beautiful.
It is. It's very, very.
I was actually thinking of buying it again recently. That's the funny part. I was going, that was a really good mic. I just didn't have the right equipment for it, or not enough. I had Presonus preamps in those days that didn't have enough power, and it just came out too low. So it was always talking like this. I'm screaming in it. It's low. Though actually, no, I lie. I had the broadcaster, the USB one. No, what was it called? Podcaster.
The Podcaster.
That was the one I sent back. I never had the Procaster.
Oh, okay, yeah, because the podcast, because it's the USB one.
Yeah, it didn't have enough gain in those days. And remember, that would go into USB, and I had a machine that didn't quite have what it needed for that one. But it sounded good. Once you amplified it afterwards, it sounded good, but it wasn't good for live. That one, the Procaster, should be pretty good. I've heard people on talk shows and stuff use it, and it sounds good.
Well, I saw them doing, because I was talking to you about the Heil PR40, I think it was.
Right.
And that was quite good, but it runs around about $369.
Okay.
And this is a first that I've ever seen this century anyway, that this Rode microphone that's made in Australia was actually cheaper in Australia now than it is in America.
Now, how much was it over there?
$179.
That's it?
Which were $236 and when I see on Amazon and that. So
that's a pretty good price.
So that's what I thought. I thought, well, you can't pass that up. I thought, hey, it looks very good, and it's.
And if for any odd reason you don't like it, it's a weapon.
Well, that's right. Yes, you could hit somebody over the head on it.
It is. Have you taken it out yet? It's solid.
I haven't. The only thing that they do say is just be careful because it's got the little gold dot on it.
Ah, yes.
And all the Rode ones have that gold dot. That's where you're supposed to speak into,
Yes.
but not on that one.
Oh, it doesn't?
You'll get nothing on that. You've got to be straight at the front.
Oh, that's right. You're right. That one is straight on. You're kissing it, basically. That's
right. And that's right. You've got to be right up there with that one, or else you'll get nothing. But that's what. And I've just thought that would be quite a good one to have. I will just put up there the Rode Podcaster site. I've got a couple of good demos on there to show it off a bit as well. So
yeah,
I quite enjoy. I'm really looking forward to doing that. But also this week, why I got that one as well, I'm setting up my studio, or trying to, with a room which will have the air conditioner on. And when we get to over 100 degrees,
right,
I'm not sitting in my little closet studio, which will overpower me. But also I got this week, I picked up all my audio foam. Well, that came in. It was supposed to be posted out. And of course, they wouldn't leave it, so I had to go to the post office and pick up 6 boxes of my audio foam. But that'll be quite challenging to get all that together. But I've got plenty of it, and I must have had good luck this week. I got that at quite a good price, but that was from an Australian site too.
Interesting, good.
Well, so I think the problem is I get 85 cents for $1 gets me 85 American cents. So the things produced locally should be a little bit cheaper now.
It should
be a bit dearer for the exports.
That sounds good. So lots of new things going on over there.
Yeah, I also got I had to get the shock mount as well for it. I couldn't go with that and just have because it's got a little hooky thing that will just point the microphone out. But I thought I had to get the shock mount as they showed in the picture and that. So
yeah, those are nice too.
You can't go half the way. So, and I just felt very good. I thought.
Now the Procaster is white, right? It's all white.
No, the Podcaster's white. The Procaster's black.
Oh, that one is black. Okay.
It is black. That's why it is black. So
it probably looks pretty cool.
Nice.
Yep.
It does. It looks really nice. Like I saw it on their site. You could see that's a picture of it on their site, which is just nice and black. But it's. I'll do a little review when I get round to it.
Yeah, that sounds good. It looks like a nice mic. It looks like the Podcaster, but black, and it has a really good look to it.
It does. It's pretty much the identical thing from what I hear. It's just it doesn't have the microphone, the headphone input that it does on the Podcaster, because you do all that through your little mixing box that you'll be using as well.
Right.
On that, but
now I have a little video for something you just got too.
Yes.
So let me show everybody what you just got, which we're actually doing our show with right now. Here we go. And that was Wirecast by Telestream, and that's www.telestream.net. And Telestream makes Wirecast. They make a whole mess of other products, and they're really good. I use Wirecast right now doing the show, and you just purchased Wirecast 6.
Yes, that's right. And if anybody is going to the Telestream site, just be careful when you do, because you've got the Wirecast showing at $4.95, but they do have an offer if you find the Black Friday code through to, I think, the 1st of December. They're doing it for about $3.83, I think it was.
That's a good deal.
So it made a difference from me going from $5.49, which it would have been with the Australian dollar, going to just over the $400. So
yeah, that's a really good deal.
Quite a saving. So I had been waiting most of the year to do that. So I thought I was going to get it before, but now it had a good thing. I thought it's just the time to get it.
Yep. Now, I've been playing with Wirecast 6. I'm upgrading actually tomorrow to it. I have the trial of it, but tomorrow I'm actually doing the official upgrade. And I'm working on that on my home machine where I'm doing setup. So I'm setting it up there, then to bring it in here so we're up and running. And it runs nicely. It's 64-bit, which is great. This is the one I'm running right now is Wirecast 5.3, which is 32-bit. So 64-bit takes much more use of memory and everything else. And the nice thing about Wirecast is that it's easy to set up. And now they have playlists, so you can do some really cool things with playlists that really eliminate the need for having a lot of shots that you have to call up at once. You can do them all in one playlist, can do everything. So you can do a lot more with it.
And also I found, Rick, with those playlists, if you've got 2 or 3 shots, and if you drop one shot on top of the other, it automatically creates the playlist.
Yes, that's cool, actually.
So you don't have to say, create a playlist and then fill it. You just drop one on top of it. It creates a playlist.
Yeah, and that's how you create, for example, your lower thirds. Create them on the lower third layer, which is layer 2 usually, and then drop them into a playlist. So now you have your regular shot, you have your playlist, your lower third shot. So what you do is you start with your regular, maybe give it 2 seconds. Then you bring up your lower third shot. So now you have the shot with the lower third, and you can't even tell it just streamed over what you had, and it transitions in. Leave it for 3, 4, 5 seconds. Then you take it out and bring back your regular shot. And then what you do with the regular shot is you say, make this the primary shot and pause. And so when you pause, the playlist stops moving, but your shot is still live, active, and you're moving around in your shot as if nothing else. But now with 3 shots, you've combined them into one, and you don't have to worry about clicking different buttons or using up too many of your shortcut keys, because you only really get 10. You get 10 shortcut keys, 1 through 0. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 0. So you get 10 shots that you can set up automatically that you can use your control keys to actually do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or you can, again, use a game controller. Like I have X Keys, which is a 55-key controller. I also have a Logitech game controller, and that allows you to use either that or just use your local keyboard. Though it doesn't work quite the way you want. You can't map it to your keyboard controller. You have to the numeric pad. You have to map it to the top. It's not as easy to switch 1 through 0 at the top. So I just have it on a Logitech G13 game controller.
What you can also do as well, you know how you said you can assign 1 through to 10 or 1 to 9 and then 0 on the keypad. You can also do Control G, Control and the number as well. But all you have to do is name your shot. So if you put Geoff's shot and put 1 after it, when you two control 1, it will go to that, so you get another 9.
Right.
So
really? It'll work with the control?
Sorry?
So it will work with the control?
Yeah, with control key. So if you do name your shot, if it was like this is Geoff's shot, you're viewing, but put Geoff shot 1.
Yes.
When you do control 1, it will do that.
As long as that number 1 is there, or number 2, and
yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, because that changed. Because that's why I was screwing myself over yesterday. And there's a bug in the documentation where it says go to layer, and you go to layer Control N, Control F. That's not correct. It's Control Shift N and F, which is the way it used to be. And I was going, why am nothing's working? It was all working until I tried what was in their manual, and it was wrong. So just a little gotcha.
And don't forget also, Rick, when you do get your license and that, download the current version, because they've done the update already with the
New Blue
iOS device.
Yes, I saw that.
For your
And
iPad
did you get the New Blue effects?
No.
I thought they come with it.
I'm not too sure. I haven't gone all the way into it yet,
I think in Pro they come with it. Maybe that's what I was thinking.
I think it's Pro.
Okay, because I have a Pro version, which it's okay. You don't really need it. Most of what we do, there's a lot of it's more for sports. And so if you're doing a lot of sports or any kind of things like that, it's pretty good. I don't do sports with it, but it does have virtual sets and things like that. Oh, the Chroma Kings in both. But it's a great software tool. You know, it's funny. I have a TriCaster. A lot of people want TriCasters. I have one. I am selling my TriCaster. So as soon as anybody's interested, we have one person who called on it, and we've got another company looking at it. It's a good machine, but it requires, in our case, one extra person to run it.
And that's what I've seen with your TriCaster. Does an excellent job, but it is sort of a crew job, isn't it? Really, and then it does an excellent job.
And we got the big one, so as a result, the 460 is really more of a studio type TriCaster. It should be in a different room. It's noisy, so it has to be in a different room. Though we can equalize the noise out, but it's just not what we expected as far as what we're doing. And our workflow is way quicker on Wirecast. I like Wirecast, and I also like vMix. I like both, and we're going to be doing shows in both.
But the thing is, with both of those tools, for what you and I do, you need to be able to change on the fly.
Yes.
It's not ideal, but you might, at the last minute, you need to create a shot. Well, you can do that 2 minutes before you go on air, but with TriCaster, if you do that 2 minutes before you go on air, you're risking the fact that you might lose the whole show.
Yeah, it is more of a professional tool. It takes a little more effort. It's easy in some respects. It's difficult in others. I'm not saying it's a bad machine. I like it. It's good. But for our workflow and the amount of money and effort we want to put into it, I think it wasn't the right tool for us. It's just
one of the things I've seen in the Wirecast that I like, that we can hopefully when we get more people in the chat room, is the Twitter feed.
Yes.
So you can see that, like I've just got my favorites up there, so you can actually communicate through the Twitter feed. And if people do your show hashtag, and it also goes through. You don't even have to have hashtag. If you just type the word TriCaster,
right.
Even anything that goes on that says TriCaster, it'll pick up on the Twitter feed.
I know.
So.
It's pretty good.
So it's quite good. I mean, I'm quite pleased with it. So I'm hoping to do some other things and put a few things in, doing it for a couple of product reviews.
Yep.
Because it's quite good to do that, and with the switching and that. So
it's a lot of fun. And now I still can't believe you didn't open your Procaster and just use it today. Oh, that would have been great.
No, well, but the thing is, like you said, I'm always scared. It's working now. I'll do that now between now and next show, so I don't wreck everything. So.
No, that's true. But I'm dying to see that one and see how it sounds. I've heard it on YouTube, but YouTube's already compressed, and I'm just dying to hear what it sounds like. Rode has another mic that just came out, which is the NT-USB, and it's getting enormously good reviews. I posted some of them out. It sounds really good. I've heard one guy did a comparison against what was it, the Sennheiser, I think ME66. Yeah, I tell you, I think the Rode sounded better, and it's probably $200 less.
And I'll tell you what now, though, since I've got that, I've come to the conclusion that Rode are quite good. So if they're putting something out that I like the looks of, I'll get it, because I haven't been disappointed with anything I've got from Rode so far. So.
My only disappointment with Rode is when they came out with the Rode HS1, the headset one. I have two of those.
Oh,
it has the worst, the biggest piece of junk headset I've ever had on. It cuts into my ear. I mean, it does. It actually literally cuts into your ear. I've got a scar on my left ear from where it cuts in. It's just aluminum, and it's thin, and it's like having a wire on your ear. And it breaks. I've had to send them back, I think, twice to get it fixed. It's just not a well-designed appliance. The microphone is awesome.
I said it sounds great.
It sounds wonderful. But what holds it really is cheap. It's got a little dinky design here that if you move it the wrong way, you have to unscrew it, and little microscopic screws. It's easy to break. it really is easy to break. And you know me, I take good care of stuff, and it broke twice on me, and I'm just going. It's sensitive. It's very delicate. I would have preferred they do what they do with the OSP, the HS09. That's comfortable. You can have that on all day and your ear's fine. It doesn't cut into your ear. You can even get a pad for it. But the other one does cut in and isn't the best microphone holder I've had, at least for an ear set. But I love the sound of it. It's really quite good for such a small little microphone. The OSP HS09, which is about half the price, is almost as good. So, you know, and that's a question of what they did with the actual ear set mechanism versus having one. This one goes all the way across to both ears. That's what I don't like about it. Why do you have to have it? It doesn't weigh anything. It should just be on one ear. But it is a good mic. As a mic, I love it. And I still use my Rode. Well, I have it over here. Still one of my favorites. This is the Rode NT2A. Still love that mic. It's got such a good sound to it. It's a little more covered or bassier, but you know, Rode is famous for being a little bassier. I think that's just the way they do it, but they make good mics. Are they anywhere near you?
No, they're in Sydney. Well, not too far, but they're in Sydney, so about 700 kilometers away. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
But as I said, with the dollar, it's quite amazing that I'm getting them at a cheaper price than you guys. That's what really set me. I thought 179 as opposed to it was, I think 229 on Amazon was the cheapest price I could see. So
that's a darn good price, and you know it is a dynamic mic, so you're not going to get a lot of noise coming into it. I used one dynamic mic quite a bit, and that's the RE27, the Electro Voice.
Oh yes,
it's a nice mic. It's not cheap. It's about, I think I paid about $550 for it, but it's the one a lot of disc jockeys use. It's quiet. It's got a good look to it. It's been around forever. The RE20, which was a very famous radio disc jockey microphone, that's been around quite a bit, and this is the newer one, which may be less than 10 years. And it's got a little more gain, internal gain, than the RE20 does. Both very good, very neat mics. I got that one from Mark Jensen's advice from New Media Gear, and he loves it. He loves the RE20. I think he's got an RE20 and the 27. He's got both, so it's a good mic.
And the thing with the Rode Procaster, I think that's why, like you said before, it takes a lot to drive it, because there's about 6 inches before you get to where the sound goes in. There's a big lump of foam in there to keep the noise away. So you do have to have the quite a lot of sound to make it register. So
yeah, but I think the Procaster, I was getting it confused with the Podcaster, has much more gain than the Pro. I don't think you're gonna run into the problem on that one.
No, because you're expected to go through your little mixer or your USB adapter, which has got the amplifier in it as well.
And so this one should be fine. You shouldn't have an issue with either your Mackie Onyx Blackjack or your Aphex 230. You should be able to drive that with no issue.
And I've got the what if I do have the PreSonus Studio, I think, is that what it's called?
The studio channel. Yep,
I've got that one as well.
That's actually a really nice studio channel. I'm using it right now, and it's great. It gives you a good sound, and it's not over the top.
And I still like the Aphex. It still gives a nice sound, but mine's sort of doing the little things, and every now and then it shorts the power in the house.
Well, that's kind of what I've been having some problems with mine too, with power, and it hasn't shorted the house, but I think it actually blew one of my mics. One of my NT1As, I think it blew out.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't really used my Aphex. I should get it back to get repaired. I'm debating, do I want to get the new one, the Aphex channel? I don't know. I'm debating.
They're expensive, but I think they do.
They do sound good.
The quality you can't.
Though I tell you, for $300, that Aphex, I'm sorry, the PreSonus Studio channel, is damn good.
Well, that's why I got that. I thought for the money, you couldn't fault it for the money. The Aphex, yes, would be better, but it's 3 times dearer.
Yes.
For that. Did you see who else? I saw another person who uses the Aphex 230 was our friend Bill DeWeese that we liked.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yes,
Larry Jordan has one.
He uses that a bit.
Yeah, Larry Jordan has one. Bill, you and I have one. We're in a small group. It's a real nice piece of work. But you have to really know how to use it. That's tricky.
Well, that's right. I've got the settings from the photographs I've took of yours.
Yeah.
Because if you go off, it sounds awful. If you don't have it set up right.
And yet it's very easy to make it sound badly.
Yes, very easy, very easy. One thing I do like on it that I don't think the studio has, the PreSonus, is the on the Aphex I can yell in the microphone and it won't distort and won't do anything.
Right.
It
right.
really does a good job at that. So if you get too close to the
do it
microphone
to a
too
point.
loud, you can't tell.
I think all compressors will do that to a point. But I really haven't tried screaming into it. I did try it with the Aphex once, and it worked beautifully. It actually kept that limiter down. It's got a good limiter. The studio channel also has a limiter, so it probably could. Gotta try that. I'll try that one of these days.
Yeah, but as I said, I've done a couple of projects with the PreSonus, and it's okay. But it's out one area where I'm recording it, so I'm waiting until I get my little studio set up where I can be doing the sound and adjusting the controls. It makes it a bit easier.
Now I just changed my sound a little bit. Can you tell the difference? I'm going to bring it up even more. This is my tube gain, so I'm adding grit to it. So I'm all the way up right now on the tube. So that should make it a little bit grittier. Now I'm going to bring it down. This is where I was. So right about here. So there's a little bit of tube coming into it just to add a little bit of depth and grit to it. If I turn the tube totally off, now this is without the tube, it's a little less noisy. I'm going to bring the tube back up, and it gives it just a better sound. It adds a little bit more volume to it.
And the thing is, that's why you say you've got to get used to the settings, because something like that, I could hear the difference here, but when you're doing it yourself, you sometimes can't hear the difference. I know,
you don't, because I don't record with headsets on usually.
No, I just put my headset on to gain the sound, to make sure it's not overpower, it's not peaking, and that it's okay, just to do a sample. And then I've taken off because I think it's too much. You're too concentrating on listening to yourself, and then concentrating where you should be and staying in the same position. Right. But I find it doesn't make any difference to listen to yourself.
Yep, that's true.
All the time. So
that's true.
I quite often just put the headphones on to gain the sound, and then put them away.
Now, a couple of minutes ago, I showed you the Wirecast video, which is a tool we both use now. And after you do your Wirecast, we are doing live streaming, but we're also doing recording. And do you send the recording? Do you immediately bring it up to YouTube? You could, because it records pretty efficiently. But if you're also doing other video shooting and you're doing other things, how do you do your production? And here's where things slow down. You go into Premiere, and then you got to get out of Premiere or Final Cut Pro or whatever tool you're using, and now you're into some kind of so-so compressor packages. They compress okay, but you only get one format. You can get many formats, but they're real easy to not sound that good in. There is a tool also by Telestream, which I need to get. I've been looking at this, and it is called Episode. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Episode, the professional scalable choice for video encoding on the Mac and PC. Episode's all-in-one multi-format encoding is perfect for post-production and new media workflows. With Episode, you get the highest quality encoding, hundreds of input and output formats, and the ability to scale from the desktop to a dedicated server farm on both Mac and PC. All wrapped in the fastest software encoder on the market. Encoding is a snap with Episode's easy-to-use graphical user interface and wide variety of pre-built encoding templates. Select from hundreds of output formats and deliver your encoded file to any folder on your network or publish directly to YouTube. And when you're ready to start encoding, Episode is ready. Encode multiple files at once with built-in parallel encoding. Or share the encoding load among a cluster of computers on your network, Mac and PC, with just a click of a button. Also with Episode Engine, make use of our exclusive split and stitch technology, which distributes encoding, taking advantage of all available CPU power. Whether on a single machine or across a cluster of machines, Episode can achieve truly remarkable encoding speeds. Episode. It's fast, it's easy to use, and you get all the formats you need. With prices starting at just $4.95, Episode is the best value, all-in-one, multi-format software encoder for your money.
So there we go. That is Episode by Telestream. That is a great tool to really automate your workflow of compression, of sending to multiple servers. It automates everything from your video editor. Let's say you're using Premiere. It has a plugin for Premiere. You drop it into a folder where it's paying attention, and it automatically processes it. You can tell it how many. It's got a visual workflow. You can tell it how many different versions you want. Do you want an MP4? Do you want a QuickTime movie? Do you want a 422? What do you want? It converts it to that. Then it uploads it to whatever servers you want, as many or as few as you want. All automatic. So once you're done, you don't have to worry about, okay, now I got to do this manually and that manually and this. It does it all. That's cool.
And I must admit, one of my biggest frustrations with anything to do with video is when you're encoding things.
It's a pain.
You get the wrong thing, and then when you're publishing it, that's one of the big hard workflows that if it's something like this, should make it a lot easier.
Well, yeah, because also not only do you get them to set the settings, and you can also modify and create your own settings, it also uploads it for you. That's a lot of extra work that you have to do. So once you set up all your passwords, set up all the different FTP servers you want to go to, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. And that's nice. That alone is worth the initial $4.95 price. It's not cheap. And also if you ever have enough video that you've got many renders going on at once, you can create a cluster. So you could have 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and they all automatically work together. That's pretty cool. So
yes, I often wondered how all these bigger studios worked with multiple copies and where they're sending it to. You said the data all over the place. For me, it's probably a little bit much for what I want, but for somebody who's got a bigger workflow, it looks like an ideal package.
Yeah, it actually does sound really good. So we'll tell you what we can do. After we set it up, we can set up a Dropbox, and then you could drop it in the Dropbox. We'll make that the folder that it's searching for, and automatically will do the workflow.
Oh,
it's a thought. It's a thought.
Incredible, isn't it? Yeah.
So I'll let you know when we get it.
I've been also, as this week with getting into the video, I've been watching a few of Larry's webinars on Final Cut. And what Final Cut is such a great package with all the different things it can do as well. So I've just been getting more involved into that again. Then I go and look at Premiere. I love Premiere and I love Final Cut, but it's hard to say one from the other. But I think in this day and age, you need to know both the tools to keep on top of things. So.
Yeah, I was looking at one last night. It was a commercial. I should have picked it up. But it was a commercial for Wonder Editor, I think, Wondershare or Wonder. They make video capture cards and things, but it looked really nice. A simple video editor, beautiful interface, allowed you to create scenes and do all sorts of things. It's probably $50 to $70, and it does all of that. And you just go, wow. It's neat. So if you're a new editor who doesn't have a lot of experience, that'll do a lot of work for you without having to know that much. It doesn't have the power probably of a Premiere or a Final Cut, but you know what? It still works. And so that's kind of neat. Now, have you done any more videos with your FZ1000?
No, I haven't yet. I've been too busy doing other things on that, but I've got it out to do something last week, but I've been doing something very strange in the last few weeks, is gardening, because that's getting a bit overrun. So
fun.
I've gone away from the tech on the weekends and doing some physical labor. So I much prefer going out filming things.
Now, I have a surprise for you. I don't know if I told you yet. We have a guest next week.
We do. Next week?
We do. We do. Next Friday. We have JoJo Jensen. She's a very good voiceover actress.
Oh, that'd be great.
JoJo she's fun. She's hilarious. She's got a sense of humor that your heart to beat. She's just adorable. And JoJo Jensen, she's going to be on as our guest. We're going to talk a lot about voice and mics and tech. She's not a techie, but she's very good at voiceover and voice acting and everything else. I think you'll like her. She's got a really good sense of humor. So she lives up in Oregon, near Portland, Oregon, I think, or somewhere around Oregon. But really nice gal. We've worked with her on a couple projects, and you'll find her versatile. She's actually really fun to work with. And her name is JoJo, J-O-J-O Jensen.
JoJo Jensen. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I love listening to the people in the voiceover industry, because they've just got so interesting some of the stories and what to do for preparing for jobs and how they get jobs. And like the big thing with it, there's lots of people out there that can sound really good, but they just don't sell themselves, and they just
no, that's true. Well, we had Matt Baker on about a couple weeks ago on eMedia Chat. And he was great. We've worked with Matt for many years, and Matt's a good guy. And I found out that day that he used to be a Marine. I go, Matt, you're a Marine? Wow. But he does a really good voiceover.
And one of the things I like hearing some of the different techniques. And one of the things was always told, and I was saying, before you do your voiceover, don't drink coffee. And then he said, nah, don't believe it. It doesn't make any difference to him. So.
Right. Now, I would say coffee's not that bad, but definitely don't drink hot chocolate. That won't be good.
No,
it's the dairy stuff. The dairy stuff is bad.
Yeah, that gives them too much phlegmy.
It just sticks.
Thing. But I still try not to. I try not to have coffee. Just the warm water or something to wet your pipes and that. Because if you have cold water, it just.
Now, when you read the books, when you're doing the LibriVox, the books, how much time do you take reading, or do you spend reading? Do you do an hour a day, more, less? At what point do you feel your voice says, "I've had it"?
Well, what I do, I just do one at a time. I don't do too many things, but I always find early in the mornings better for me. I find that it sounds much deeper in the morning.
Right.
But like that's what you do. You've got to remember, if you're going to do a double take on something, you jot down exactly when you did it, because that makes a difference to when you sound. If you record something in the morning and record the rest of it in the afternoon, it's very noticeably different. But if you do it at the same time, you can usually get away with it if you've got the same listening environment. But,
right.
I like doing things in the morning, and I seem to be able to get through it quicker in the afternoon. I suppose you've used up you've been talking all day. The voice is a bit tired. But with the LibriVox things, when I read the script a few times, get that through, then I usually record it all in one session, which might take me about 35 minutes a chapter, and then go right. But with that, when you're just doing that, edit out any of the horrible things where you take a sip of water or things like that. But that's half the fun of it, is editing what you've done and making a recording. Say, I can't hear any. I've got a lip smack there. I better take that out.
Now, are you recording with Audition?
Yes, with Audition. Yes.
It does a good job.
I'm doing that. It does do a good job. I have when they did the upgrade, I did have the problem where it wasn't caching, where it was doing the cache wasn't in the right place. And so halfway through me recording, it just decided to stop recording.
Oh, great.
So I did 20 minutes of the recording. I'd spent all that time, nothing was there.
Really?
So
that's not good.
But it was just the caching thing where it just didn't point to when you did one of the last upgrades, you see.
Okay.
So it was quite... But once I figured that one out, it was quite easy to rectify then.
Oh, that's good. Well, Geoff, we are at the end of our time. Goes fast.
Oh, it does.
It does go fast. And so next week we've got JoJo Jensen on. That should be fun. And we're going to have Donna Gilliland on. She wants to come on. And Gina Schreck on the 19th. We've got Gina on the 19th of December. She is going to do the shopping gift guide for lazy guys who never get off their butts, and it's too late by then. So that should be a lot of fun.
And the thing is, I've missed that word Pinterest for.
Oh God, Pinterest. You know, we have a Pinterest account. I post to it occasionally. I always forget. It's just not. I don't know. I still don't think it's that much of a not girl account. It seems more girls than anybody are on it. I don't know. Corporations do have stuff on Pinterest, and it's popular. We just don't post enough to. We got to post more to it. Get into the habit.
But the thing is, I've got an account like that, but there's just so many things there, and I've got to the point where I just can't be bothered. There's just too many things.
I know.
You can't do everything.
No, and it does take a while. We use Hootsuite to do our social media so that we can send off to 7 or 8 or 10 different locations at once. And even still, that's work. It takes a while to get everything out there.
And before, there used to be ages ago a lot of thing about clout out there. Has that disappeared?
I haven't heard anything about clout lately. Have you? I don't think anybody gives anybody clout anymore.
No, well, the thing why I asked, because I got an email the other day and it says, "Oh, your clout rating's been upgraded, and now I've gone down to, was it 3?"
3?
Nobody's using it now, because it was put up quite a bit higher, but I thought, I never bothered about it anyway, but I thought, well, maybe it's just started up again.
Well, now I'm curious. Let me see.
So if I go into a -3, does that mean I put people off?
Yeah, I guess.
They should have a reverse clout thing. Have a rating of how much people get
the anti-clout, right?
So
now I'm curious. Let me see.
Just curious whether you've slipped down to, because you were about 60 or something.
I got up
like
to
that,
70 at one point. Then I dropped to 48, and I was going, "Hey, what gives?" And the more I got involved with it, the less I made. So in terms of points,
it's because you shunned Pinterest. That was your problem.
That's probably true. So I am now at. Okay, where's the number? Hello, number. Used to be. Oh, there it is. I'm at 53 now.
Oh well, you still.
And I post pretty regularly, but I guess I don't post well enough for them. So. Yeah, I don't care. I think it's all a bunch of BS. But there's clout, there's cred, there's really.
And it's a bit like there's the LinkedIn where people endorse you and that, but they're just doing it for the sake of doing it a lot of the time.
A lot of times. I don't even know who these people are sometimes.
Who's that? And I thought,
really? How do you know I'm good at that?
It means something when it's somebody you know. Oh, that's good.
Right. It's a way to... Yeah, so you just kind of go, okay, well, that's... LinkedIn's a little interesting. I don't like when they did that, because I think it kind of cheapened the whole purpose of referrals and everything and endorsements. Now they're just kind of quick and dirty, and just names show up. And you go, I don't even know that person.
Well, they're looking at the pro version of Facebook. I don't know whether it's out yet or not, but I don't know. But it just sounds to me like LinkedIn with the word Facebook.
Right. Probably.
Probably.
They're doing badly right now. From what I heard, a lot of people are leaving Facebook, and they've done a lot of stuff to irritate people. And you have no privacy, though. Now they're making a major push towards privacy, though I don't know how real that is. So I don't know. That's just Facebook.
But even then, Facebook was one of the first ones that got so many people there.
Right.
There's bound to be the
well, that's because
away from.
In those days, everybody ran away from MySpace. Because it became kind of infiltrated by porn and just all sorts of garbage. And now Facebook has all sorts of issues too. There are other networks coming up. I'll be curious to see what Gina thinks of what's coming up. Because, I don't know, I think we're all oversaturated with social networks. I know I am.
Yeah, I still keep with Facebook up, because I just like it, just that contact with relatives.
Sure,
really
exactly.
Wouldn't have any other response.
But other than that, I don't do much on it. I'll post to it, but I'm not really actively engaged. Twitter but I have a theory that the more followers you have, the less you can be engaged on Twitter.
And plus, also, what I would like on these social medias, on anything, is just to target the people you want to and exclude the people you don't.
Right, but it's hard.
Even then, you've got all these. You don't want people like me showing microphones on Facebook. Yeah, that's fine, but half the people not interested in it, but the other half how can you
the people on Facebook going, look, he's playing with sex toys. No, that's a microphone.
But then I'll do a lot with the horses, when people go, oh yes, do that, but who's into a lot of them are not interested. You'd like to be able to target them, or else I would use it a bit more then.
Yep.
But maybe I can ask Gina that. Maybe she's got a way which
she
I can do
She may have. I don't think you can exclude. Well, you know what? You can categorize people, and you say this only goes to friends, this only goes to business, this only goes to microphone lovers, things. So you could create that kind of. You can have as many groups or lists as you want. So that's one way to do it. But does everybody do it that way? No, because it becomes a lot of work again.
That's what I thought. I know there is a way, but it's just finding an easy way to do it anyway.
I know. Well, I guess that's it for today. And for all you people in the chat room, all one of you?
Well, none of it. No, none of you.
None of them today.
I haven't seen anybody.
Well, you know, just
there,
because
so.
it's a holiday, we're here, guys.
Yeah.
We're here, and you didn't show up, so that's really not good. But anyway, we'll forgive you this time. It is a holiday. And for all you people not in the chat room, thanks for being there. And we appreciate your time and effort in communicating with us. And if you're watching the show on Vimeo, please keep watching. We enjoy that. The numbers are going up, so that is actually good. And we will see you folks next week when we have JoJo Jensen, world-famous vocal artist. She'll be on, and Geoff and I as well. Have a good one, everyone. Bye, Geoff. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.